How do you do, fellow gamers? This is Almighty Goat, and this is 3 magic tricks to teach your deck, Simic edition. In this video, we're going to focus on Simic, the green-blue wonder that it is, and we're also going to kind of focus on 1/1 counters and what you can do with those to really get the most out of your cards. First magic trick I want to talk about is one I came across when I was researching my artifact video from a couple weeks ago. It works well, but I figured it was rather more suiting for this video than that one, so I wanted to share it here. That magic trick involves Pentavus, Dross Scorpion, and Thran Dynamo, or any other mana-producing artifact that produces 2 or more mana. If you can produce 3, this works better, so we're going to use Thran Dynamo in our example. So with these 3 cards, we're going to tap Thran Dynamo. We're going to get 3 mana, and we're going to spend 1 on Pentavus to remove a 1/1 counter from Pentavus to put a 1/1 Pentavite artifact creature token with flying into play. We're then going to spend 1 to sacrifice a Pentavite and put a 1/1 counter on Pentavus. That will trigger Dross Scorpion. We'll use his ability to untap the Thran Dynamo, and now we have an unlimited colorless mana source. Now this is great, and we love that, but we also have an unlimited number of artifact creatures entering and exiting the battlefield. And with these artifacts coming into play and being sacrificed, we're going to get a lot of good effects off of other cards like Summoning Station. We have something like Doubling Season or Parallel Lives in play, we're going to get even more work out of it. So this is a way to really make your 1/1 deck shine, no matter what color it is. But if it's Simic, it's going to shine a bit brighter. The second magic trick I want to teach your deck involves Experiment Kraj. He has all activated abilities of each other creature with a 1/1 counter on it, and he taps to put a 1/1 counter on target creature. So, I love him. He's big, he's doofy, he does fun stuff. So we're going to get some pretty simple cards, and we're going to go silly with them. We're going to go get Horseshoe Crab and Argothian Elder. Now there are other creatures that untap themselves, but Horseshoe Crab's a great example. And I want to note, when an ability on a card references itself, like Horseshoe Crab does, it references itself, not the name. So when Experiment Kraj has this ability, it will say, untap Experiment Kraj. That's important, because the first thing we're going to do is tap Experiment Kraj to put a 1/1 counter on Horseshoe Crab. Then we're going to spend 1 blue off of a land that we have to untap Experiment Kraj. Then we're going to tap Experiment Kraj and put a 1/1 counter over on Argothian Elder. And we're going to spend 1 more blue to untap the Experiment Kraj. Now we have 2 tapped lands that produce blue mana, and we're going to use our Experiment Kraj to untap those lands. And now we have access to unlimited colored mana. We tap our lands for whatever we need, say blue and a green. Then we tap the Experiment Kraj to untap those lands. We spend 1 blue from the Horseshoe Crab's ability to untap the Experiment Kraj, leaving us with 1 green left over. And we can repeat this for however much mana we need. In doing this, we now have access to unlimited +1/+1 counters on target creature. We can put it on yours, your opponent's, whatever you like. And then whatever abilities we gain access to, we can use unlimitedly, as long as they only require that you tap the creature and or a mana cost. If it requires anything else, then we're going to have to address that with whatever it is. But this allows us unlimited access to every ability on every creature that only requires tapping or mana, which is quite a few of them. The third magic trick I'd like to teach your magic deck is a little sillier. It requires quite a bit of mana, but you can do it. I believe in you. The first thing we need is to have a card called Hive Mind in play. It's a pretty unique card. It says whenever a player casts an instant or sorcery spell, each other player copies that spell. Each of these players may choose new targets for his or her copy. It's important to note that this is not optional. Each other player will get a copy. It says those players may choose new targets for his or her copy. Now, that's only relevant if the card says it targets, so that's going to become very important here in a moment. We also need to have any card in play that will allow us to counterspell. It's important that this is not a sorcery or instant, it is a permanent currently in play. My favorite to use is Daring Apprentice. It's pretty simple, works well, gets the job done. Also, it's very affordable, as far as both picking it up at your local LGS or casting it. What isn't affordable is the next card we're going to use, called Endless Swarm. It's one of the, I call epic cards, because there's 5, one of each color. This one is green. You put a 1/1 green snake creature token into play for each card in your hand, and then epic. For the rest of the game, you can't play spells. At the beginning of each of your upkeeps, copy the spell except for its epic ability. Cool. So, you can probably see where this is going. We're going to cast Endless Swarm. Our opponents are each going to get a copy of Endless Swarm. We're going to use Daring Apprentice to counter our copy. Now, it's important that we use Daring Apprentice and not a traditional counterspell, because if we use a traditional counterspell card, or anything like it, our opponents will also get a copy, and they are likely going to counter their copy of Endless Swarm. They get to choose new targets, and they can target their own copy of Endless Swarm. So, we cast Endless Swarm, everybody gets a copy, we use our Daring Apprentice, sacrifice, get rid of our copy, and everybody gets a copy of Endless Swarm, including its epic ability. Your opponents may no longer cast spells for the rest of the game. Now, the downside here is that you're going to have a few people pissed with you, and they're going to probably be sending a lot of snakes over to you. You can handle it. There's several ways to handle it. My personal favorite is the Silent Arbiter, which reads that only one creature may attack each combat and only one creature may block. This effectively neutralizes the snakes that you just gave them. Now, players can still use abilities of permanents in play, so don't discount that, but you can always play something like Cyclonic Rift Overloaded or other spot removal to deal with those problems. The point is that they're done casting spells. I know that last combo didn't have any +1/+1 counters in it, but that's the 3 magic tricks I'd like to teach your deck, Simic Edition. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. Go ahead and comment on the next color combination you'd like to see me cover. If you haven't already, hit subscribe. I'll see you next Wednesday for our next Magic video. I stream live on Monday and Friday evenings at 6, and I hope to see you there. Bye-bye.